Hello everyone, I'm River Fox. Welcome back to the Canny Valley AFK SSDs. And we are back on SSD number 9 and 10 this is going to cover, because this will hopefully see you through to the end of your Canny Valley Storm Shields. Now, in case you haven't been following my series, then I do have 2 new accounts which I'm working on to place every possible amplifier I can. And on this one, my 4th account, just to let you know, my traps, although my broadsides and my ceiling drop traps, they are both legendary perked. Everything else is pretty dire, really. They're not the greatest of perks on any of them, and yeah, you can do these with level 77s. Although I did start leveling up to 106s, I have still used level 77 traps for all of the Canny Valley SSDs as soon as I could level them up. So on this account then, we of course have our home base amp here. We also have what's this, amp A down here. We have amp B, which is this one down here, and amp C is this one up here. And we've also got, where is D over here. Now this account, I've never placed this amplifier before, but I have at least been able to on this one. Now I do quickly want to go over a couple of things before we actually go over the traps and everything. You will notice probably that there are 2 amplifiers in Canny Valley that you cannot place, and it doesn't seem to matter whatever amps you place in whatever order, you will never be able to place this amplifier here. It is kind of pointless and doesn't do anything, but there we go, that is the way it goes. We also have, if I can get all the way over here very slowly, we also have one over here which you cannot place either. So let me get up here and we'll show you where it is. Now let's see, I have placed this one on my other account, which I'm going to go into shortly, but you will also have this amplifier up here, and you cannot place that one either. So there's 2 of them that you just physically cannot place. It doesn't matter, don't know why they're there, just take up space. But nonetheless, for SSD number 9 and 10, pretty much for the home base, the only changes I made on, I think it's SSD9, I kept getting the annoying blimmin' lobbers, flingers should I say, that kept on standing down here, and they kept on trying to bash through these structures on this. So they may sort of break some of this off sometimes, which got really blimmin' frustrating. But the only other change that I made on here, actually I didn't even have to do it on this account. On my other account, I'll show it to you when I get over there. So no other changes on this account on this one. So next off we have is amplifier A, which is this one over here. Now, very little change. I haven't really done very much on this one at all. The only thing I did do, you may notice or remember that on this account I did have the trap tunnel here, and I had this one blocked off, but I have swapped it around so it does match now my other account, my third account, so it matches that, and it will help you a great deal in doing so. So I have changed that up, but other than that, everything else on this one is pretty much identical to what it was on the last SSDs that I done for you. We do have this one open on this account. On the other account I had it blocked off, so doesn't matter whether you block it or leave it open, doesn't really matter. No other changes on this amplifier from the last video that I made. If you haven't seen any of the other ones and you haven't been following this series, then do check out, there will be a link in the description down below which is going to show you all of the SSDs for Canny Valley, all AFK. Well, one change I did make over here I would want to point out, which I found, it was on SSD9 I think it was, because we have this floor piece out over here. it meant that the lobbers, or flingers should I say, kept on coming to this point, and they kept flinging straight over. So I just added in literally 4 wooden walls just to stop them wanting to stand at this point, because we have to leave this bit open because of the random spawn up there. If they do come along that section, then they will drop down into this. So I had to leave that open. So to stop those annoying flingers, I just added in 2 walls there and 2 walls there, and that would stop that problem. That is pretty much it on this amplifier as well. No other changes to anything on there. The only ones that I really made any changes on, if we go all the way over to this one, which is our amplifier D here. Now I did make a slight change to the spawn direction from over here. Now you may remember that this used to go, if I just get this out, this used to go across like that. But I found that especially the zappers were breaking through this wall here and then just walking straight across this lot to get straight to the amplifier. So I took that one out. I added in the ceiling a little bit higher up and an extra wall in front, just to make sure that if they do break through this piece that we've got here, then they're literally just going to fall straight down into this section anyway, so it doesn't matter. Now I did also block this bit off just to make sure that they didn't go up here, really, because I kept finding they would just be coming up here and they would be standing at this point and lobbing over as well. So that's the only other change there. And of course I added in this wooden lobber and flinger shield just to prevent them from wanting to actually stand anywhere around there, because no matter which direction they come from, and if I can get round here now that we've finished it all, because when they do spawn over here, they're going to spawn on this point here, around this bit, and around down here. So they can come around this way, which is why we had all those builds over there, but majority will drop down here. Now they normally just go straight through your tunnel there. You might get the odd one that might go around this way and go through that tunnel there, but with the lobbers and the flingers, they would come all the way around here, all the way around here. And I even noticed that they would get to this point, realize that they're taking damage, so they would turn around and they would either go up around this way, or they would go up this ramp all the way back here and all the way around here to stand at this point and lob straight over. That is how far they will actually travel. Other than that, no other changes. I haven't made any other changes to the traps on these. These are still the same traps with the same crappy perks on that I had on all of the other SSDs. Now, the main one that I have changed, and yet again we have traps disappearing again. There should be another ceiling electric field in there, but anyway, for this one, for our amplifier C, which is just down there, they are going to spawn around this back section along here. It can be anywhere along this section. You will even get the odd random spawn that will spawn on the top of this as well. So they're going to head over that direction. Now you will get some that will go through in there, but majority will go straight through this direction here. So I did add in all of these traps over the spawn point, because on your last final wave of SSD10 you will have 1,200 husks that you will need to eliminate, and the quickest way of doing that is through trap spawns and just trapping up right over where they're spawning. So wherever they spawn, they're going to head down this direction. They're going to get hit by all of these traps. There should be a a ceiling electric field in there. I don't know why it's disappearing again, but nevertheless. So majority are going to head through this direction. So we've got a wall launcher just to fling them into this box. And chances are they're going to die in that box straight away, which means they won't then get immune to the wall launcher, which is fine. If for any reason they do get past that, And of course we got more traps up here as well, but we do have more wall launchers here as well to fling them straight into the boxes, and it generally takes them out. Pretty much when I was watching the gameplay, they didn't really get past this point. The only things that will ever get past this point are the smashers. So we do have some wall launchers here to fling them into these, but they didn't really take too much damage, and the smashers may very well make it all the way through this, which it is no problem whatsoever, because what they'll do is generally they're going to bash all of these structures here to get all them down first. They won't go bashing on these because they're edited wall pieces, so as long as they're edited like that, they're not going to bash on those. So they're going to bash on all of these first, destroy those. You will get the odd smasher will come this way, which is fine. Again, they will get to this point, and for some unknown reason they will stand on this ramp and they will smash at this ramp. Once this ramp has been destroyed, generally what they will do from any of these points is they are going to charge straight over this direction. Now you'll notice from the gameplay that when this defense is going on, I will be stood on top of this rock just like so, just watching and keeping an eye. So they will be charging straight over this way. Sometimes they will stop around here and they will see you up there, so they will attempt to try and charge you again, which will mean they will just charge straight off the edge down here. Generally they'll end up at some point around here, so then they've got to walk all the way back up this ramp, all the way up this ramp as well. Now if there is any structures still left over there, they may head back over that way and start charging at them again. If they've all been destroyed, then they will come over to this point. Generally they will just like rock back and forth. Sometimes they might despawn, sometimes they might just stay there. But as long as they are all over here and around this area, then they're not going to be up at your trap tunnels where you don't want them, where it's going to be killing all of the other husks and things for you. So that's pretty much this one. Now I do still have these builds set up on here, which although in the past have been attacked on that amplifier from the west, during this session and all of the ones I've done here, never been attacked from that direction. Now there should normally be traps in there with wall launchers on. There should be a wall in there with broadsides. There should be an edited wall there. But you will get, for the home base, you will get your spawn point around here, and quite often it spawns in this first row, which is why it keeps taking out the traps and things that I placed. I kind of gave up resetting it and re-putting those traps back in. They just kept disappearing, so I kind of gave up in the end. But yeah, that is all of the builds and everything. It's not much. The level 77 traps with really crappy perks, but it will do the job. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get onto my other account, which is my third one, and I will show you the builds and everything that we've got there as well. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, right, so I'm now on my third account, and just to quickly go through my traps on this one. In fact, my traps on this one, apart from my broadsides and ceiling drop traps, are even worse than the ones that I had on my fourth account. So it's still not the greatest. Don't need to worry about leveling them too much, but you are going to need to put more, traps down because they're lower level. But on this account then, let's see, home base is exactly the same as on the other account, so I'm not going to go through any of the home base one. Actually, I will. There is one thing I will note, which I did have on this account. I had some problems on the first wave with the flingers, so I did add in this this little sort of flinger shield over here, because I did find that for some unknown reason they did want to come and stand at this point here, just lobbing straight over to the home shield. So I did add that in. That is the only change that I have made on the home base. Now next up, we have on this account we've got different amplifiers and we've placed them at different times. So for this one, this is my amp A, this one down here. Amp B then is this one over here. Amp C is that one up there, and amp D is the same as my other account, which is that one over there. So let's go through A first of all then. For A, you're gonna pretty much get attacked from the north and the east on this one, and I didn't have any other problems with the flingers or anything on this one. I didn't have any problem here, but if you need to, then don't forget, same as the other account, you can add that bit of block off up there just to make them come down and fall down at this spot if they do go up the top. But other than that, everything is exactly the same. There's no other changes to it. So if we get over now to where is it, B, this one here. Now on this one, again, no other real changes that I've made on here since SSD number 8. It's still got the same traps and everything, so that is all the same. Now C, amp C, now we haven't got this on the other account, so I'll go through this one with you. Now for C, you're going to get attacked from the west or the north. Now it did get a little bit close on this one, that I did get one smasher, I think, that came through and started bashing on that structure over there, but as soon as he broke through it, he ended up getting killed from the trap behind it. So other than that, it's all pretty fine. We'll go over to where the spawn point is. Now on this one, I did add in these extra few over here, only for the fact that we were getting a lot of husks want to come this way round, and they were getting hit by these and dropped into the other tunnel underneath. But I wanted to give them a little bit more damage before they actually reached it, just to make sure that we took them all out, because this amplifier will have the kill wave, which I think is about 800 husks. So I wanted to get rid of them as quick as possible. So we've added them in. I didn't even bother to upgrade any of it, because they're not going to hit those structures. So it's just there to cause some damage as they come in through this tunnel. So that is that section. Down here, I did have a weird issue where all of these traps along this whole row had suddenly disappeared, so I've put them back in just to make sure that we're killing everything before they can get up to the top. And this bit up here, this is all the same as it was on the SSD9, so no changes on here either. Haven't added anything extra in. It's all the same there, so that side is fine. Now what I did do though is from the west spawn, I did add in a lot more kill traps up here, because our spawn for this one is going to be all the way over here along this section. So they're going to either go down there or they're going to come along this way here. So I did add in extra traps over the spawn just to kill them off as quickly as you can, especially the smashers. All the rest of it is pretty much the same in there. I did add in this box here just to cause a bit more damage before they actually got into our tunnel. All this is still the same as it was before. We did seem to get some smashers wanting to bash against this one here. I don't know why, but luckily everything else got taken out before they got into the tunnel, so it didn't matter too much if they did break it. Just in case though, I added a few extra bits on here just for as long as that wall hasn't been broken, then they will come down here and get a few more traps to kill them in there. For this section over here, I did add a few extra ones above this ramp just to deal a little bit more damage before they got down this ramp and get hit by all of these. And that would take them into this tunnel here, which would cause, you know, pretty decent damage in here and get rid of them before they got out. So that is amplifier C. Amplifier D then is this one all the way over the top, which is the same as the other account. Now this one, I will admit, did come extremely close I almost lost in the last sort of 20 husks on this, because on the final wave you do have to kill 1,200 husks, and I will admit it came extremely close. So what I have done, just because of this section here, I have added in 2 extra rows on here with broadsides and retractables, just to catch anything before they get in that far, because it, as I say, it got extremely close. And I also added a few extra ones up on here, which I didn't have on the other account either. So yeah, that is all the same as the other account for this one, as there's no other changes to it really. And yeah, I managed to get through all 10 SSDs, level 77 traps, really crap perks on them, and yeah, quite easy. So I hope these videos do help you out. If they do, please consider hitting that like. Do check these videos, they will help you with some other quests as well. Check in the description, there'll be loads of links in there which will help you out. I hope you've enjoyed. Have a fantastic day, and until twine, stay safe, my friends.